Avatar: The Last Airbender is getting a new fighting game. So I read this news and I got pretty excited because I'm a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. Now, when it comes down to myself and watching, TV series and everything like that, I'm not the biggest person that gets into it. I don't watch a whole lot of TV shows and everything like that. I'm more of a movie person personally, but Avatar definitely is one of my favorite shows of all time. I love that show so much. I love the characters, I love the story, the animation's great. There's just so much to have love for it when it comes down to this series. Now, as far as the video games have gone in the past, eh, to be honest, there really hasn't been too many great games that have come out, which is really unfortunate because with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I feel like it's one of those things that it shouldn't be difficult to be able to make a good game when it comes down to that series. You know what I mean? And with the elements that you're able to use, the fact that it's a fighting it's like animation show, and the fact that there is kind of like almost like magic that you're able to use when it comes down to being able to actually use the four elements. You'd think something like that would be able to go hand in hand with a video game, but for some reason they just haven't really been able to do it. There's some older games from back in the day that were based off TV adaptations, and just like any type of video game like that from back in the day, whether it was based off of like a TV animated show, or like a movie from that time, like the Shrek games, the SpongeBob games, stuff like that that you would play. They were very, I wouldn't say cheaply made, but they just weren't really in mind to be like really successful video games kind of a thing, especially in the AAA sense. They were very much like kind of these little platformers where you just have to collect a lot of stuff and everything. They're made for kids at the end of the day, more so than like older gamers. But I feel like with Avatar there is again so much potential there to actually make a great game that is something that, children and adults would be able to enjoy. And they haven't really been able to hit that mark, especially when you consider that, obviously, like I said, the first couple Avatar games were when we were in that kind of era of those kind of kiddie games and everything like that. But even like I think it was like 2 years ago, they had came out with the other Avatar game, Avatar, the Last Airbender. I think it was like Quest for Balance or Quest for Peace, something like that. And it was horrible from what people were talking about. It was, I think they charged either full price. It was either $50 or $60. It got horrible reviews. I heard it was really bad. It was like a platformer type of game. The gameplay wasn't fun. The story was very rushed compared to the animated series. So it was just really unfortunate to kind of see that that was happening, especially considering that people were saying that it was in the style of like a PS2 game, and it was coming out on like the Switch and PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, sorry. So the fact that that was the case when it came down to an Avatar: The Last Airbender game is just really unfortunate. So seeing that this information had come out, I am excited for it because of the fact that it is a different style that they're going to be going with, in the sense that they're going to be making it a fighting game. Hopefully this will be actually made with love and care from compared to the other games and everything like that, because it is one of those things where, again, I feel like there is so much potential for this show to be able to have a good video game out there that a lot of people can enjoy. So the fact that they're going in a different direction and they're kind of doing a fighting game, I think is cool, as well as the fact that it does look like they're going to be doing it in a 2D aspect. So we got some of the still shots here of the game. As you can see, it does look like it's 2D drawn, which is pretty cool. And I feel like this could work really well if they decide to do it right. Now, it is one of those things where I was able to watch the trailer, and we'll watch it right here in a second. And it looks good for the most part, but it's just one of those things one thing I do kind of have a little bit of criticism with it is the fact that the animation for it looks a little bit weird. Now it could just be me, and you know what I mean. I could just be complaining unnecessarily, but I'd like to see a little bit more of like trailers and stuff like that when it does come out. But we still got time because I think it stated that it was going to be coming out in 2026. So it will be a little bit of time before we do get any more information as far as how the game is going to look, and what's it going to be like when it comes down to actually playing, as well as the animation. But I'm digging it so far. I mean, obviously, we're like, the levels that it's showing. It looked like they were at the Southern Water Tribe, or it might have been the Northern Water Tribe, I believe. Right here where it shows Zuko and Aang fighting, and then Korra and Zuko. Um, you got the air temple here. I think it's the Southern Air Temple, which is pretty cool that they're able to kind of include some of these levels and everything like that, which I think is awesome. And then of course you have the elements being used. So you see you got Zuko here using the fire elements. You got Aang here using air, which is awesome. And yeah, the fact that they're able to kind of go in that direction, I think is something to look forward to for sure. And yeah, I think this is going to be hopefully something really good and something to actually be worthwhile when it comes down to actually playing. So we got the trailer here as well, so I figured we can go ahead and watch it. And per usual, I'll go ahead and give my thoughts as we go along. So let me just pause it really quick, make sure I get the quality right. I'm gonna do 720, and then I want to make sure this is too loud. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and check this out. Avatar Legends, the fighting game. And then one thing I did notice too is that anytime it shows their little introduction where it shows like Aang or it'll show I think Zuko right now, there is no volume to it at all if they like make any type of comment or anything like that. So that is another thing that I am kind of a little bit not necessarily skeptical about, but I'm just wondering because like as you can see right here in the bottom says pre-alpha footage, if it is going to be one of those things if we are going to have the original voice actors coming back to reprise their roles. I very much hope that's the case because every once in a while I'll see some videos with like some of the voice actors, like the voice actor of Sokka, Azula, Toph. Well, they'll kind of be at like a convention or something like that, and they'll speak with the voices of the characters, and they still, if I mean, from what it sounds like, they still have it. They're still able to kind of talk with the way that they do with which I think is so cool. So hopefully that'll be one of those things that we do get them to come back to be able to do this. But again, the fact that it doesn't have any volume for them does have me a little bit worried, especially because as you guys will be able to hear right now in a second, whenever it shows them doing like a specialty move or something like that, you'll hear their voices, but it's very low. So I'm wondering if they're still waiting to either get like the main actors back to reprise their roles, or if they're just gonna have it where they're gonna have other people do the voices for them, which is why they have it a little bit low so that we can't necessarily hear it as fans and be able to like make our thoughts on it kind of a thing. See, I feel like Aang sounded a little bit weird right there. Toph, Sokka, Azula, Katara, coming summer to. So right here, you can hear them talking. So, I mean, obviously, I'll play it again really quick just to kind of show you guys. It's very hard to hear them actually speaking, and I mean, obviously, I have to lower the volume just a little bit because I don't want to have it too loud for you guys. But and per usual, I'll go ahead and put the link for the video in the description so you guys can watch it yourself. But yeah, if you guys have the opportunity to watch the trailer itself, you can't really hear them talking, which I think is very unfortunate because again, it does have me a little bit worried that it might not be the original voice actors doing their reprising their roles. So if you want to listen to hear. So yeah, they have it really low, so you can't necessarily hear it. So I'm kind of questioning what's gonna happen with that in that regard. So we'll see. We'll just have to give it some time and then eventually get some more trailers and stuff like that, get some more information. Obviously, with it being the summer of 2026, we'll have a few more months, you know what I mean, a couple more months before we're able to actually get any more information as far as the game goes and everything like that. And I mean, like it showed it's some pre like it states here, what does it say? Pre-rendered footage. So pre-alpha footage that of them working on the game, kind of a thing. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But at the same time, I am curious as to whether we're gonna be able to kind of get the main characters back and everything like that. And I am curious if it actually is gonna be coming out in the summer of 2026, or if it might get delayed, just to kind of make sure that they're able to kind of get all their ducks in a row when it comes down to this. But yeah, like I said, at the fact that we're actually getting a new game for the Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm really hoping it's done really well, because I feel like it could be cool to be able to have a fighting game where you can use the elements and everything like that, which would be really cool. And yeah, I mean, obviously, only time will tell. And again, from the track record we've gotten, it hasn't been too hot. But I'm gonna sit here and have my fingers crossed and hope for the best when it comes down to it. So, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you guys are looking forward to an Avatar: The Last Airbender fighting game, and if so, who would be your guys' main character that you'd want to be playing as? For me personally, it would have to definitely be Aang. I love Aang's character. I think he's a badass, and you know what I mean, the best Avatar. So if I were to play this game, Aang would definitely be the individual that I'd be using to fight, you know, when it comes down to this. So if you guys could let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, I really appreciate it. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate that. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.